good morning, and good morning. Guys, welcome to another exciting episode, guys, of Exit Strategies Radio Show. I am your host. Yes, I am Colvin J. Millett, broker and owner of Exit Realty, Low Country, Beautiful, North Charleston, South Carolina. Whew, I can breathe now. Hey, look, y'all know how we do around here. You know what we're about. We're about making sure that you guys not only know what you need to do, but y'all know how y'all need to do it so y'all can get it done. So today is going to be no different. We're going to have a great time. We are very honored today to have an extra special guest with us. You know, I've been doing this for a little while. I tell people a little while, about 18 years, guys, that I've been serving the real estate community, not only at some local level in the Charleston region, but the state level. I serve across the state in various capacities, and then also at the national level, guys. So I'm very excited about what we do. But the fundamental thing that we do in real estate is we serve prospective homeowners, prospective home buyers, if you will, as well as obviously home sellers. All right. So we don't want to leave anybody out. But today, our guest helps those people, but also helps everyone else. So, guys, I want you to make sure you grab a pen, grab a pad, because I am very honored to have with me today. And I got a list of things that kind of tick off, but I'm going to let her talk about them. But I am very honored to have with us Suni McKelvey. Hey, ho, she's an author. Hey, she wrote a book. Y'all need to write this down. Priority Credit 101, Suni McKelvey. And we spell Suni, S-U-N-I, but she is with us today. Suni, how are you doing today, darling?
I'm doing great, Corin. How are you?
I am amazing. So, look, you got a story. You have a story. You know, we all do. I say this all the time. You know, you never know someone's story. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to share whatever you want to share with our listeners today. But I want to ask you first and foremost to tell our listeners a little bit about you, what it is you do, and I say most important. It's not most important, but along those lines, how do you do it? So there you go.
Well, my name is Suni McKelvey, and I am from Charleston, South Carolina, born and raised. I did move away a little bit, but came back home. This is where the roots are. I have been working for over 16 years at T-Mobile at one point, and then I decided that it was time for me to do me. It was time for me to give back to the community. It was time for me to tap up in here and share that knowledge. So I am the owner of Priority Solutions, and that is a credit and financial consultant business. I also just not too long wrote my first book, which is Priority Credit 101, and that is tapping in on the importance of credit.
Woo. Hold on. Tapping into, I'm going to write that down over here. Listeners, y'all need to do the same thing. So tapping into the importance
of credit.
So tell our listeners, you know, we're talking in the studio, you know, before we, you know, went to air here about, you know, people not realizing how important credit actually is. So if you could frame that for our listeners, how important is credit?
Credit is very important. A lot of people think if I have cash, I don't need credit, and that is absolutely, positively not true. I don't care how much cash you have. At the end of the day, you still need credit. People not only use credit for purchases, some employees even run your credit check to see where you stand at financially. Public records can also access credit checks. I mean, it's so much more than just a score. And it definitely has to be a good score at that. But credit is very, very important.
So, you know, when we were talking in the studio, you kind of mentioned, and people don't think about this. So employers, let's kind of stay along that line tangent for just a short moment. Obviously, we want to get over into the purchases piece of it. But that line right there, people that, let's say maybe they are, you know, government employees or seeking a position with the government, clearances and all that stuff, that's important, obviously. Right. On top of that, just regular run-of-the-mill employers now check people's credit. Am I right?
You are absolutely correct. A lot of people don't realize that the government does check your credit, and you have to maintain good credit in order to maintain employment with the government, unless they will can you. You have to maintain good credit. You have to maintain that security clearance as well, which is why you have to maintain that good credit.
And people, I think, sometimes don't understand that. And it's not saying that if you have, people sometimes believe, or the perception used to be, let me put it that way. And, if you disagree, please, tell me. But, people used to think that, bad credit made them a bad person. It's not about the person. It's about, hey, look, this situation indicates this type of pattern. Am I right?
You're absolutely correct. So I don't feel that bad credit necessarily makes you a bad person, because there are things in life that can cause hiccups in your credit. I mean, some people live check to check. Some people maintain their bills check to check. And just by getting sick for 1 week, that can have a hiccup on their credit. That doesn't make them a bad person. Unfortunately, bad circumstances just happen to cause your credit to go south. But the good thing is it doesn't have to stay south. There are ways to work on your credit to bring your credit score back up to par.
That is awesome. So you wrote a book, basically kind of, framing this stuff. And obviously we got to hit the purchases piece. I don't want to get too far, but I want to, make sure we incorporate the book. So
Yeah.
the title of the book is what?
Priority Credit 101. So with my book, we all know when we turn 18, we get credit. And honestly, I wrote this book from my heart. I have an 18-year-old. I also have a host of nieces and nephews who's 18, 19, 20 years old. And just kind of looking at how they're moving, it concerned me.
Yeah.
It definitely concerned me. And then it took me back to a place of when I went to college, and how you had all the cell phone companies and the credit card companies. They were lined up outside in the courtyard like, hey, you're 18, come over here and sign up for this. Hey, you're 18 now, you can come over here and sign up for that. And not knowing any better, we were just signing up for whatever. I'm 18 now and I'm an adult. I can sign up for credit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, I was one of those 18-year-olds that used my credit card, didn't think anything of it. Oh, I'll get the statement later, just pushed it aside, and didn't realize like how it would have affected my credit. So when I started to look for employment, I realized like, oh wow, like they really pull your credit report, you know? And then you were my first realtor. So you sold me my first home when we first initially pulled my credit report, and I kind of got to understand how credit worked and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, this is interesting. So fast forward, I now have an 18-year-old. I need to prepare him for the real world. He is actually a student at James Island Charter High School.
Mm-hmm.
And he was signed up with a class that touches on like financial literacy,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately not enough students signed up, and the class was canceled. So that kind of got the wheel spinning in my head like, you know what? These kids need something. They need to understand exactly what is credit. Like I said, we know we can get credit at 18, but what is credit? Like, how does it work? What is a FICO score? How is that broken down to determine what type of person I am? Because like you said earlier, although bad credit doesn't make you a bad person, when those employers pull your credit report, when those banks, credit card companies, they judge you off of what is on your credit score. And unfortunately, a lot of us have had hiccups in life, and a lot of us are judged by something that we are no longer bounded by. So that's why I wanted to get that book out there so people could understand what credit is, what is the importance, the breakdown of credit.
So you touched on a few things, and look here, you just took me back. So
Yeah.
look, here I am, a freshman at University of South Carolina in Columbia. So go Gamecocks, right? So here I am in school, in college,
Right.
Sears credit card, a Visa, a
Okay.
MasterCard, and American Express with no job.
Okay, exactly. Listen, I stayed in the mall. I stayed shopping. Oh my gosh. I'm like, we went out partying. I mean, we went to the restaurant. Oh, here's my credit card. Just put on my tab. My mom's calling me like, I got a bill from this place. What is this? Oh, that's like a study thing. Like disregard it, just put it aside. Like, oh, don't worry about that. But yeah, they got us. They got us really good.
So it's interesting that you talk about that, because that is very true. That, well, one, we don't have that conversation in our community. So we
Right.
don't have the credit conversation in our community. And that's something I think, well, matter of fact, I know that overall that we can stand to do better. We
Yes,
don't educate our children about credit, the importance of it, and also how to manage it. So in turn, they have to fall their way through it. Like I did, had to fall my
correct.
way through it. So that's very interesting. So kind of we're on it. So let's incorporate the purchases piece into that, because the credit also is important outside of the job,
Yes,
but it's also important when you go to purchase something that you don't have the cash to pay for, which may be a big ticket item, maybe a car, maybe furniture, maybe a house.
absolutely.
So
Correct.
how does that impact those particular purchases as well?
So, of course, when you want to go purchase a house, I mean, most of us do not have 300, 400, $500,000 just laying around. So we have to obtain a loan.
You call me.
Of course, exactly. Call Corin. So, of course, the higher your credit score is, the lower the interest rate is on your loan, or the better odds of approval that you will have.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the lower your credit score is, there's different factors that are going to factor in. For example, with purchasing a house, if your credit score is not high enough, you may have to get PMI, and PMI insurance, it doesn't really protect. It protects you, but it more so protects the seller versus protecting the buyer. You're going to have to pay that until you pay at least 20% down payment of what your house purchase cost was.
Mhm.
When it comes to a car, either you're going to get that 18.75 APR because you have a credit score of 400, or you're going to get that 1.9% because your credit score is 750, 800. So
Mhm.
having a good credit score, a higher score, is definitely beneficial, because the higher the score, the lower the interest, the lower the payments overall. Someone who has a credit score of like 580 and they purchase a house may pay 8% interest,
Mhm.
versus someone who has 750, 775 may have a 2% interest. That
Mhm.
person with the lower credit score may end up paying like $150,000 more for that house versus the person with the lower interest score, just because their interest score is
Mhm.
way higher than that person. The bank, the loan officers, they're all taking a risk. You have to factor in the PMI that does not go toward the balance of your home. I mean, it's many different things that factors in, but you definitely want to make sure you keep your credit score as high as possible.
That is very, very fair. Now, our listeners, they need to know how to reach you. We're coming up on a break here real quick, but Sine, how do they get in contact with you?
All right, so you can find me on Facebook at Priority Solutions. You can also visit our website at www.prioritysolutions.org. That will actually be launching on 4/22/22, the same day my book will be launching, because my book will be launching tomorrow as well.
Awesome.
You can also reach me on our business phone, which is 843-212-6332.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So let's put a pin in it right there, guys. Our listeners, guys, y'all hold tight. As we always say, y'all flip that flapjack, y'all grab that syrup. Y'all let me know if y'all mama got some cane patches. I'm still looking. I'll come on by. And we'll be right back. Gonna hold tight right here. Congratulations to Exit Realty Low Country Group's Realtor of the Week, none other than Monica Wright. Right Home for You. You can reach Monica by dialing 843-452-0111 or text Right Home for You. That is WRIGHTHOMEFORYOU to 85377. Again, Right Home for You. You all give Monica a holler now and find your right home. Guys, and we are back. Second segment, Exit Strategies Radio Show. Hey, I'm your host. I'm Coleman J. Millett, broker and owner of Exit Realty, Low Country Group of beautiful North Charleston, South Carolina. Ooh, I can breathe. And I am very, very honored to have with us today none other than Suni McKelvey, author, Priority Credit 101, guys. Y'all need to go get that book. And owner of Priority Solutions.
Correct.
Yeah, Priority Solutions. That's your people, man, to work on you with this credit, because that's what we got to get right.
Yes.
Suni, thank you so much for being with us again today.
Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. So look, before the break, we're talking about the importance of credit. We talked about, look here, I swear you took me back. I'm telling you, my freshman year, man. I'm struggling over here. I remember that Sears credit card, man. I remember just, woo, it was ugly. But anyway,
I was thinking about my express card. Oh Lord.
I had a gold card too. So we're having this conversation, but I'm gonna tell you something. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna kind of take you back to some pieces of that. You touched on something. You know, I'm a big, community, person. Look, we service. I'm big on that. I'm big on, God gave us all life for service. We're supposed to be in service to others. You wrote this book. You've taken this path because you want to help others.
Yes.
You said that because, hey, my nieces, nephews, my son, this is coming up. This is something that's going to be beneficial to them. But when I decided to do it, I realized it could benefit so many other people. So number
Yes.
one, thank you for being who you are, for being
Thank
a
you.
servant. Look, that was my devotional this morning about servant leadership. There's different leaderships, but servant leadership, that's definitely one of the three. So you intend to touch who with this book? Who do you intend to hold on? The book is this. Y'all listen, if y'all watching me, I got my hands up. I'm grabbing somebody by the shoulder and I'm shaking them violently because I need for them to understand. So who is this book designed to impact like that?
So when I initially started writing the book, my shoulder grabbing moment was the youth. I need y'all to go in the real world and I need you all to understand how the real world works or you will be taken advantage of. But then I started to realize a lot of our people perish from lack of knowledge. A
Ooh,
lot
that's a
of
word.
people
That is the
don't
word.
really understand. They really don't know. And the more I started writing and the more research I started doing and the deeper dive I started taking down that rabbit hole, I realized that this book can actually be beneficial for all. I still want my main focus to, be on the youth so they don't go out in the world blind. But initially, this could be beneficial for all, not only the youth, not only the older, but the younger generation as well, because what the older generation learns, it'll trickle down to the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
I've often said that a lot of times that I wasn't taught because my parents simply just did not know. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they tell me all the time, if we had known better, we would have done better. And I always say that. I always tell my kids, if you know better, what? You do better. So guess what? I'm trying to give people a you know better moment. So now
Mm-hmm.
we're going to do better when it comes to our credit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get these kids to realize you know better than to go out there and just open 10 credit cards account and max it all out. So because you know better, because I provided you this knowledge, you're going to do better as an adult than I did, than my parents did, than that parent did. So that my main thing is grabbing the shoulder by not only our youth, but all of our adults that needs that credit literacy, that needs the financial literacy in order to grow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's impressive. That's definitely one of the things that is needed. You
Yes,
hit it spot on. We change our future by changing our present. We change what we do today, we will in turn have a different tomorrow. You got it right on the head. You influence the parents now. This is a each one teach one moment here, right? What you're talking about is taking this information, applying it to your life, and in turn teaching it to
correct.
your children so they in turn will continue that going forward and teach it to their children. It's a wonderful application of knowledge. So thank you so much for stepping out here and
Thank
doing
you.
this right in this book. So tell us, if you don't mind, for our listeners, book is launching. So guys, as you guys are listening to this, you can buy this book. So where can people buy this book?
So the platform that my book will be launching on it's going to start with Amazon, but eventually my platform will be growing. So you can find on Amazon, on Kindle, you'll be able to download the ebook. You'll be able to order the paperback book. And eventually, like I said, I will be expanding as far as other platforms in the near
Awesome.
future.
All right, so guys, look, this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to go to Amazon. Now, I want y'all to skip y'all cart. All right, because I know there's a bunch of stuff in your cart already. because y'all want to order everything. The Amazon knows some of you. Amazon man or woman knows some of y'all by name. Hey, Mr., Mrs. Such and such. Okay, look here. They got you. They look here. They ain't got to do nothing other than look down the steering wheel. They can close their eyes and know how to get
Right.
so much.
I'm guilty.
So I want y'all to skip the cart. I want y'all to go straight to the search bar, guys, and I want y'all to put in priority, 2 words, priority credit, okay? 101. I want y'all to put that in the search bar. I want you to find this book. Suni, spell your name for the people.
It's Suni, is Suni, and then McKelvey, McKelv as in Victor, EY.
So I want y'all to go put that in the bar. I want y'all to search for the book by her name to make sure you got the author, okay? And I want you to either download this book to Kindle or I want you to order a copy of it, all right? This is important. I want y'all to do this. The reason being is twofold. Number one, because it will change your life, all right? Number two, I want you to do it for this reason. It will change your family's life, okay? Those are the 2 reasons. Go do it. So what is one of the things? So you're the owner of Priority Solutions. So you guys do credit repair, assist with financial literacy,
correct,
counseling, correct?
Correct.
So let's talk about what does that process look like? So someone is, okay, hey, look, my credit look like my light bill. I'm sorry, my bad. So what do you do with that? What does that look like for you? What is that process?
So we do offer a free consultation. In that consultation, we go over everything as far as what we do, what we're going to do for you. We would require that you have your credit report pulled in order for us to get the bigger picture, or for us to get the whole picture. Because you got some people will come in and say, "Oh, I just want 1 or 2 things disputed." No, you just can't just get 1 or 2 things disputed, because that 1 or 2 things that you want to get disputed might not even have to get disputed because it's falling off your credit next week, things like that. So we offer that consultation time in order to go over the customer's credit, to see where they stand at, to see as far as what they can do, different practices they can implement in order to get their credit where we need it to get at. Once we do that first initial free consultation, we will go over the packages that we offer as far as credit repair, because you have some people that just may have a lot of inquiries on their credit, and that's what's causing their scores to consistently drop, and they just need those inquiries, removed or something handled for those. Some people might have just a couple of late months, but then you might have someone that has a bankruptcy that's a whole different ballgame. So we do cover the packages as far as the monthly cost, what it would cost for you to have your credit disputed. On behalf of the client, we will submit a request to have the accounts reviewed. Depending on what account it is, we have letters that we send out to the credit bureaus. We have some letters that we also actually send out directly to the companies that's being reported to the report. Once we get the ball rolling with that, normally they normally have 30 days, but because of COVID, and a lot of people don't realize this, the companies have 45 days now to reply back. So right now it's not 30 days. They're giving the credit bureaus an extra 15 days to reply back when it comes to disputes of the credit. And once we get the response back, we may have to move on to phase 2. It may have just worked with phase 1. So it's different levels, different packages that we do offer depending on the severity of your credit, whether it's the light work, or if we need to get down with the shovel and dig. So
yeah. Hold on, put your boots on.
Exactly. Strap up the bootstrap.
So guys, look, we're having a good time with this, but look, if this is your situation, guys, it's not funny, but we're gonna make it entertaining for you, because we want you to do something about it. We want you to engage. We want you to contact Suni and her team and go ahead and get rocking and rolling on getting to a better future, to getting to your next tomorrow. Okay. We oftentimes get so engrossed in just today that our word teaches us not to worry about tomorrow, if that makes any sense. And those of you who know your word, you know what scriptures I'm talking about. But you guys, it tells us not to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of itself. But you got to take care of something today. All right. You got to do something today. So today, I want y'all to go to PrioritySolutions.org, O-R-G. So that's PrioritySolutions.org. I want y'all to set an appointment for a consultation. So they just, hey, she just
I'm here waiting.
Look
I'm
here.
Here waiting.
She just took the magic wand and waved and said, okay, free consultation. Y'all come see us. So y'all need to make sure y'all reach out to her today so y'all can get some good information. Tanae, one more time, if you could, for our listeners, your contact information.
So I'm Suni McKelvey, and you can reach me at PrioritySolutions.org. You can also find us on Facebook at our Facebook page at Priority Solutions. Our telephone number is 843-212-6332. And we look forward to hearing from you. Let's get those credits back up to par. Let's get you in the category of being able to buy that house with no problem.
There you go. There you go. So for our listeners, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Suni, thank you so much for being a part of the Exit Strategies Radio Show family. We appreciate you. We appreciate you sharing this wealth of information today. And we're going to schedule and get you back. So anyone who, look, y'all like, hold on, well, she said some good stuff, but I need a little bit more. That's all right. We're going to schedule. We're going to have her back. But I want y'all in the meantime to go get that book. Amazon, when you get to your cart, remember this. Skip your cart. Put everything into your wish list. Order the book. If you order the book, you'll be able to buy all the other stuff for less.
You will be able to be approved to be able to get that credit on Amazon.
Exactly. So look, and this is the other thing, guys. Hold on. So matter of fact, I'm gonna say, because we getting quickly to the end here, but I want to point this one out because I know you got something on this. You know how we go to the mall and we go in a department store, and the first thing you want to apply for a credit card for a discount on today's
to save that 10%.
Exactly. And if you don't get out of here, man, y'all need to start swinging out on the cashier.
Exactly.
Be ready to fight.
That 10% is not worth it sometimes. Read the fine print.
Exactly. The interest rate on that card, the store card, is much higher than the rates you could possibly qualify for if you get your credit score higher, guys, or a traditional card, guys, for Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or, American Express. And guys, look, we ain't got to be flamboyant with it. Let's be simple. Let's be reasonable. Most important, let's be practical. Let's make these changes today so we can impact and have a better tomorrow, not just for ourselves, but for our families. Suni, again, so much. Thank you. Thank you
so much for having me on.
You're quite welcome. So for our listeners, guys, as we wrap up today, I want to say thank you for being, I thank y'all for being, I heard this recently and I'm going to share this with you all today. Guys, we are all humans becoming. Many of us say we're human beings, but we're all human becoming. We're becoming who we are supposed to be. So I want you guys to focus on that on your day-to-day, on your today and tomorrow, because yesterday is already gone. So all we have control of is today, as we have a hope. Oh, that's a word there. A hope for tomorrow. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. As you always know that I say, guys, I love you. I love you. I love you. And we're going to see you guys out there in them streets.